So Leo and Alice, when you rang me, you said that you were interested in getting married on Valentine's Day next year, and I have had a look at on the calendar for next year. It is on a Thursday, so I mean it is possible to get married on that day, but it might just be tricky for guests, especially those coming from interstate, because I noticed that you've got family in Perth who'll definitely be coming, and Leo, you've got family from Hobart who'll be coming. So it might be just easier for people if it is on a weekend, if it's on the Saturday or the Sunday. So that's something you might.
Yeah, sure, something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just write down the agreement for the ceremony. So I'm just going to make sure I've got your names right. So it is Leo Ford.
Correct.
Great. And Alice Koopman.
Yes.
And I just need to put down an address here. So will I put down your address? 26 Bark Street, Auchenflower, Leo?
That's the one.
Okay. And that is going to be the address of the wedding as well, isn't it? In the garden there at Auchenflower?
Yeah, correct. We've got a beautiful garden there.
Great. So I have got down here the day and date of the ceremony. So what do you think? Will we put the 16th, which is the Saturday, or is that something that we'll just leave blank for the moment?
Well, the people might be able to go out of their way to have it on Thursday, on the 14th. But maybe as well, that's Valentine's Day. Maybe that's when they want to be with their partners.
Yeah, I think
That's nice of you to think of that.
Yeah.
I think the 16th.
Sunday the 16th.
Yeah.
People have their weekends off anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Who knows?
So we're thinking Saturday, the 16th of February 2019. And you said that you'd like the ceremony to start around 5 p.m. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because it'll be summertime, so there'll be still a fair bit of light in the evening, won't there? It won't be getting dark. And the venue's going to be 26 Bark Street, Auchenflower, in the beautiful backyard in the garden. Now we do need to have an alternative wet weather venue. So what do you think? Have your parents got somewhere at your place at Auchenflower which we could use if it rained?
Yeah, the house is quite big, so we could shift some furniture around and have it inside.
Is there like a veranda or a there is? Like
Yeah, there's a huge veranda.
Okay, great. So do that. So as I talked to you about on the phone, so my fee is $550 for the wedding, and a confirmation or booking fee of $200 is required, and this fee covers the lodgement of your notice of intended marriage, which we're going to fill out together tonight. And in the event of cancellation of the ceremony after the notice of intended marriage has been completed, the fee is not refundable. So that's something that once you pay, that's it. Then the balance of your account, the $350, is due and payable 14 days prior to your wedding date. So that'd be due end of January next year. And in the event of cancellation of the ceremony, refund or part of the balance fee will be considered if at least 30 days notice has been given and will be at my discretion. So if the ceremony is delayed for more than 30 minutes beyond the starting time, so if it's delayed for 40 minutes after 5 o'clock, then I reserve the right to proceed to my next commitment. But I don't think in this case that would apply, because that would be my last wedding of the day. I don't think I would have another wedding after 5 p.m.
Okay.
Let me see. If a rehearsal is requested before the ceremony, a fee of $70 will be payable on the day of the rehearsal. So sometimes a rehearsal is a nice thing to do to sort of iron out the bugs and perhaps make us aware of things that we normally wouldn't be aware of. So that's something that you can think about. So if you'd just like to have a little read of that, and then if you're happy with all of that, then Alice, you can sign your full name here and date it. And today's date is the 4th of December 2018. And then Leo, you'll sign here and date it here, and then I'll sign down there. So just have a quick read and make sure you're happy with all that. So that needs to be your signature, actually.
Oh, signature?
Mm.
Okay.
So you can just put your signature.
Let's go forward. On the 4th of the 12th, 18.
Fantastic, and I'll sign that too. So, Leo, I did forward to you my bank details, didn't I?
Yeah, I've already transferred the
Oh,
deposit.
fantastic. Great. Alrighty, so that's that done. Now what I have to do is, now we're going to fill out this form, which is called a Declaration of No Legal Impediment to Marriage. And what this is it's a legal document which says that you are both free to marry, that you're not married to anybody else. So we might fill that out now. So I'm going to write your name first, Alice. So is this right, Alice Lee Koopman?
Yes.
Right.
Perfect.
Alice Lee Koopman. And your address is 54 Main Street, Milton. And your occupation is, you are a dental hygienist.
Yes.
And you are going to declare that you have, you are a person who has never been validly married. Is that
Yes.
right? And it says here that I believe that there is no legal impediment to my marriage with, and your full name is Leo Nicholas Ford.
Correct.
And your address is 26 Bark Street, Orchard Flower. And you are a car salesman, is that right?
I sure am.
What sort of cars do you sell?
Mostly BMWs.
Oh,
Sometimes the odd Lamborghini or Ferrari here and there.
wow. So how many would you sell, like 2 or 3 in a day? Would that be a good day?
That's a
or-
good day.
a
Yeah.
good day. Wow.
Maybe about one a day would be the average.
And is it mainly men or women, or is it about?
There's a lot of couples these days.
Oh.
Yeah. It's easier to get a loan if you split it.
Yeah, that'd be right. So it says here, in particular, neither of us is married to another person, and neither of us is in a prohibited relationship, and both of us are of marriageable age, and there is no other circumstance that would be a legal impediment to the marriage. I am of marriageable age because I am 18 years or older. So that is the case with you, so we'll cross this one out. And then it states down here, I make this declaration under the Marriage Act 1961. I believe the statements in this declaration are true in every detail. I am aware that it is an offence under the Marriage Act 1961 to give a notice to an authorised celebrant knowing that it contains a false statement or an error or is defective. I am also aware that the Act creates offences in relation to bigamy and in relation to marriage of a person who is not of marriageable age. So I'll just check your birth certificate, that's all right. Alright, so born in Perth and in 1998, so that all looks great. And Brendan, sorry, that's my son's name is Brendan, Leo. You have your passport there.
I do.
Right.
Quite a flattering photo if you ask me.
Oh yeah, that's great. And got your date. Good, great. Well, I'll just keep those there because I'm going to need to write those down soon. So, if Alice, you could please sign your name there, signature. Alice Koopman. Great, thank you. And now we're going to do your Leo. So Leo, Nicholas, Ford, 26, do you have any questions while I'm doing this?
Not really, no, we've done a lot of research.
Yeah, no, that's great. It really helps.
Yeah. So have you done many weddings yourself?
No, I haven't. No, I've only done a couple. I became, I finished the course in November, and I only became an authorised celebrant in end of November 2018. So
Oh, that's so recent.
yeah, it's
Oh,
very recent.
well, it's our first time getting married too.
Yeah. So it's the first roll of it. I did have to do a mock wedding, and that's on my YouTube channel. So that's good because that means people can at least go and have a look at that mock wedding and see what, you know, how I
That
deliver
feels so
a wedding.
weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but I did it with some good friends, so
That's good.
yeah, it was quite relaxing. And they asked their son Reese and her sister and his sister came. So there were quite a few people in the audience, you know, and the guests, and so I knew everybody there, so I was quite relaxed.
That's good.
Yeah, it was. It was in their garden.
So you were saying it was, I saw on the form it's $70 if we wish to have a rehearsal.
That's
ceremony.
right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I recommend it.
I'm thinking I'm going to be nervous enough on the day, most likely, so yeah, it might be nice having that rehearsal.
Yeah,
Extra
I think
$70.
it is too.
Yeah.
Especially if you can get the witnesses to come along as well, because you both need a witness for your signatures. All right, so Leo, that's you signing down here, saying that you see no legal impediment to your marriage to Alice. Great. And then I'm going to sign this down here. Declared at Brisbane. Actually, I can fill all that in later, so I will just sign my name. And then I can fill all that in later. Great, so that is done. We can put that over there. Right, the next form we need to fill out is the notice of intention to marry. Alright, so The marriage is arranged for 5 p.m. on Saturday, isn't it? The 16th.
Yes.
16th of February. And it's going to be, Leo, at your parents' place, which is 26 Bark Street, Auchenflower. Alrighty, now what would you like to call yourself? Do you want to be called the groom and the bride, or do you want to be called partners?
Groom and bride.
I like groom and bride.
Yeah, okay. So we'll do the bride first. So we've got Kootman, Coutman, and given names Alice, Alice, and then Lee, Lee.
Okay.
Female, usual occupation is dental. Hygienist. Whereabouts do you work, Alice?
I work in a clinic in on the south side in Capalaba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And do you enjoy your job?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's great. You get to help people a lot and calm people down. Calming people down is probably most of my job.
Right.
Yeah,
that would
to make it
be
easier
important.
for the dentist.
Yeah, you meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
And your address is 54 Main Street, Milton.
Mhm.
Never validly married. And Alice, you were born in Perth, Western Australia.
Yes.
And you were actually born on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Wow. Must have been a lovely treat for your parents.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so that's not right. And your father's name in full is Rodney Maxwell Savage. And your mother's name is Catherine Ellen White. That's Cathyrn.
Mhm.
And where was your father born? Was he born in Australia?
Yes, he was born in Brisbane.
Okay. And was your mum born in Australia too?
Yes, but she was born in Perth.
Okay. Okay, so that. Right, now on to the groom. So Ford, F-O-R-D.
Like the car.
Yep. Of course. Car salesman.
I was born for it.
It was a sign, wasn't it? Leo, Leo. Nicholas, Nicholas. And you are male, and you are a car salesman. "26 Bark Street, Auchenflower." Never validly married. And I noticed, Leo, you were born in Hobart, Tasmania.
Correct, yeah. Just on a holiday vacation.
And you were born on the 18th of April, 1996.
Correct.
And your father's full name is Sylvester Richard Ford,
Mm-hmm.
Sylvester.
Yeah.
And your mother's maiden name is Felicity Jasmine Ward,
Mm-hmm.
Felicity.
Yep.
And where was your father born? What country?
He was born in Tasmania as well, actually.
Sorry, he was born in Australia.
Yeah.
Mhm. And what country was your mum born in?
In Vietnam.
Now, are you related to each other in any way?
No, not that we know of.
Right, so Alice, I need you to sign here in this box. And I need you, Leo, to sign here.
Sure.
Okay, and I will witness your signatures. And I will authorised marriage. Gee, they don't give me much room to write that, do they? So we received the date, today is the 4th. We can fill all that out later, I think. So that's just me filling that out. So, oh no, I do need now. So, party number 1 is Alice. So Alice, you have shown me your birth certificate.
Yes.
And I just need to write down the number now of the birth certificate. So that's, the registration number is there. Okay. And, oh, did you bring your driver's license?
Yes, I did.
Leo, did you bring yours?
Yeah, I've got both of ours.
Right.
That one's mine.
Great. Thank you.
This one. This one.
Mhm. And your driver's license is here. Oh, and your passport, Leo, can I just?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you. So you weren't able to you couldn't find your birth certificate, is that right?
No, who knows where it is.
Well, this is almost just as good, the passport. So.
Mhm.
Australian passport. It's going to be the 16th of February. And what's your parents' address again? 26 Bark Street. So Right, so that's done now. All our paperwork complete. So you can take that back, thank you. And your birth certificate. Yep. Over here. So this is a document that I'm required by law to give you, and you might like to have a read of this when you get home or tomorrow. It's information for couples planning to marry. It just says marriage is important. Your celebrant is handing you this document because the decision to marry is one of the biggest decisions a couple can make. Marriage is a significant step which will bring a number of changes for you, your spouse and your family. This document tells you the process of getting married in Australia, some important legal consequences of getting married, and where relationship support services such as marriage education, family counselling or dispute resolution services may be obtained. And these are some of the documents that we filled out this evening. So we filled out the notice of intended marriage. We've done that one. I've been able to see evidence of your date and place of birth, your identity, and that's not applicable to you two. We signed the declaration of no legal impediment to marriage, so you were telling me that you were free to marry one another. And on your wedding day, I will solemnise your marriage, and you'll be asked to sign up to 3 marriage certificates on that day. And after your wedding, your marriage, I will register the marriage with the Registry of Births, Deaths and Marriages in the state or territory where the marriage takes place, so in Queensland basically. And then you've got some other information over here which you can read at your leisure, so that's for you two to take home.
Thank you.
And then the last thing we need to talk about is where you can go and do some pre-marriage courses that can help you. And there is one that I would recommend at Relationships Australia, and they're based at Chermside, and it's a course called Focus, and it's a questionnaire-based pre-marriage education course for couples. Each partner completes a comprehensive questionnaire related to their relationship and future marriage or long-term relationship with the assistance of a trained focus facilitator. But there's that course, but there's also a number of other courses by other organisations in the area. So please take that and read that as well, and choose one of those, because I think they are really worthwhile. You know, they ask you to talk about and think about things that perhaps you wouldn't have thought about otherwise. And you can elect to do it as in private, but most of the courses are more economical if you do them in a group with other people who are also going to get married. So yeah, it's quite interesting, I think. And then here I've got, I thought you might like to have a look at some of the ceremonies that you know, that people have done, that other celebrants have done, and you might get a bit of an idea about the sort of vows that you want to make, and how the wedding is performed. So normally what happens is there's an introduction, and the celebrant will introduce the couple and tell the guests a little bit about their background, and then there might be a reading, a poem or some other reading, and then this is the legal part that I'll be saying during the ceremony. I'm duly authorised by law to solemnise marriages according to law, blah blah. So there's just a couple of paragraphs there. And then so I think actually what we can do is we can run through all of this at our next meeting, because I can see it's getting late and we're all getting a bit tired now anyway. But and you can call me or you can email me with any questions that you may have. You've got my email address, you've got my phone number, and we can, the next time we meet, we can talk a bit more about how the ceremony is going to go, and if you need help in reading your vows, in creating your vows, or if you want to write your vows, you can bring them to me, and then, you know, we can sort of incorporate it then into the rest of the ceremony. So did you have any questions?
No, That seems really good.
Yeah, it sounds like you got no stone left unturned.
Okay,
Perfect.
fantastic. So when do you think it would be a good time for us to meet again? In perhaps 10 days or a fortnight?
Yeah, Tuesday nights are good for us. A
Tuesday
fortnight.
night? Okay, well let's make that then. So that's I think that's the 11th of December.
Okay.
So, no, wait a minute, it's not
Well,
the 11th of December.
Today's the 4th, I guess it's going to be the 18th.
The 18th, yeah, the 18th of December. All right, so we'll have another meeting then, and we can discuss the ceremony in more detail. So, thanks very much for coming,
Thank
Alice and
you.
Leah.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Jennifer.
you.